Good morning. It's going to be a good one this morning. Wow, just take a deep breath. What an interesting world we have out there today. There's so many things going on externally for people, not only in our relationships, but also financially, where we live, in the environment. There's just so many things, so many stresses. And then there's the internal world. So I totally am seeing that maybe because of everything that's going on outside of us, a lot of people are experiencing these opportunities to feel things that perhaps they've felt a few times before. And there's an opportunity now to heal. So it's almost like everything is coming up for people. I don't know if you've experienced that, but I think this is like the time for us to heal these parts of ourselves as they come up. Now, I really want to talk about this because I'm observing this a lot. When you feel an emotional charge or an emotional reaction to an event, can I suggest that it's not just this event? In our emotional world, there is no such thing as time, okay? So our emotions just hold energy. They hold experiences. And if we haven't fully processed that experience, if we haven't come to a place of understanding and learning how to use that emotional event so that we can empower ourselves more within it, then it will continue to come up. But the tricky part is that every time we have a similar feeling in our life, if we don't use it to step back into our true power and to integrate it, it's like a snowball. So the next time an event or a person prods and pokes that little place in us, the way we react is so much greater than last time. Because every time it's like our heart saying to us, come on, have a look at this. Take back your power. Use this moment. Use this moment to step into your true self. Don't let these events take away your power anymore. It's time to heal. And then, of course, if we don't understand it and we don't work with it, the next time it happens, it's even more intense. So I'd really love to suggest to you that at the moment, what you may be experiencing, if you're experiencing these events or people that are triggering you, and I don't even want to use the word triggering anymore. I would like to start using the word activation. So if you're being activated by a person, this is your moment. This is your moment to step back and see clearly what's going on so that you can take back your power from that emotional dynamic, because that's really what we're here to do. That part of us that is being activated is a part of us that hasn't been fully expressed. It's a part of us that's been shut down. It's a part of us, maybe, if you like, that's not operating fully. So it's being activated. That part of us wants to awaken. It wants to take back. We want to take back ourselves in that area so that we can feel empowered in that emotional place, in that emotional space. It's a brilliant opportunity. Now, I want to use an example from my relationship breakup about 18 months ago so that you understand fully what I'm talking about, because it became so clear to me how this works at that time. So my partner at the time disconnected from me, and I went into like this incredible fear paralysis. And what I noticed at the time is like it was almost like I couldn't feel any difference between what was happening to me now with this partner and what had happened to me as a child when my dad had left my family home. So my dad had created an opportunity with another woman, And I had a feeling of betrayal as a child. And that feeling of betrayal was activated when my partner disconnected from me. And what was really interesting for me was here I was going through an event not so long ago, totally, different house, different age, different people, and yet the feeling was exactly the same. And when I was in that fear paralysis, it was almost like I couldn't even identify whether I was me as my adult self or me as my child, because the feeling was so intense and it was activating all of the feeling I felt as a child. And it was activating even times that I'd felt that as a teenager. And it was so interesting to me and so clear that when we're activated in this moment, when a feeling is activated, the feeling doesn't discern who's standing in front of us. The feeling doesn't discern where we're at in our life, how old we are, what house we're in. It doesn't even think about that. The feeling is the feeling that's being activated. And the feeling is so powerful. It comes with every other time we felt that feeling in our life. And so if you're going through a relationship breakdown, just pay attention. Pay attention. Because you will notice that it's almost like, wow, there's no difference. There's no separation between the feeling today and the feeling of the past. There's no separation. And it's about integrating that feeling into our life. It's about feeling the truth in that moment, and it's about seeing the feeling for what it is. It's about understanding that emotion for what it is. And it's about using the emotion to turn around and look inside you so that you can see where you're not fully standing in the true you, where you're not fully standing in the truth of who you are, in that really empowered place, in that place that feels like the most you could possibly be. And when you turn around and you look at that and you see what is it that's going on there, why is that triggering me? So this is the way to work through it. Okay, when you've actually managed to step out of the reaction enough that you can go, oh, okay, this is just an opportunity to really look at this emotional activation in me. That's all this is. It's incredibly painful. And yes, I'm in an emotional charge right now, but hang on a minute. This has come up for healing. And I'm going to use it right now. I'm going to use it so that I can be more of me in this moment. And you turn around and you look inside and you trace the feeling back. When was the very first time I felt that? When was the very first time? And if you're like me, you'll go back through moments in time all through my life where I felt that feeling. And you go back to the place where you first felt that feeling. And then you really love yourself and you're kind to yourself and you're compassionate to yourself. And you see it for what it is. Understand it, sit with it for a bit. Because in that moment, you probably walked away from yourself. Not deliberately, of course, and not consciously. Because as children, we're not aware. As children, we're taught, well, we're not taught that. But if you go back to that very first point and you start to feel the truth in your body, feel the power of who you really are, when you're just being you, and try and bring that feeling into that other moment. Try and merge them together. Allow it to be there. Embrace it. Love that moment. Start with that. The other thing that I did was I did a lot of writing on it when I went back. I wrote on my experience as I was going back through my life. I wrote on every time that I felt those moments. I wrote on what happened when I was feeling the activation of that feeling in me. Was it that I was trying to get love from outside of myself? Was I trying to meet an emotional need outside of myself? Was I trying to fix a gap in me through something else? And obviously, as a child, we need support to meet our emotional needs. So it's normal for me to want my father to help me meet my emotional needs. Yet there was a point that I needed to cease doing that, and I didn't. I don't think I ceased doing that until I was 37, to be honest. And then I realized that my dad, as an adult, can't meet my emotional needs. They're my job. And I took full responsibility for them. So now my dad can be who he is and turn up how he is. My ex-partner can be who he is and turn up how he is. However that may be, it has nothing to do with me. Because I'm okay. I know how to meet the need in me that feels like there's something missing. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for that gap. You're looking for that gap, and then you're going to fill it yourself, because that's where your power comes from. That's where your truth lies. And I am really excited to share that with you, because I want to see you take back your power. It's time. I'm sending you love. Have a beautiful day.